Hey, Sam Felicioni here, and I'm with Kathleen today, and we're going to look at some of the common mistakes that occur with the hang clean. So, the first mistake we want to look at is when an athlete pulls too much with their arms rather than actually utilizing their hips. So, as we can see with Kathleen here, she's mostly doing it with her arms and isn't being explosively with her hips at all. So the second mistake we want to look at is when an athlete hinges at their knees rather than just at their hips. So as we can see, Kathleen's lower leg isn't perpendicular to the ground. Instead, she's actually leaning forward and her knees almost past her toes. So this is a problem because they're using more of their quadricep muscles rather than just their hip posterior muscles, which this exercise is mostly for. So to fix this, we usually try to teach them to sit back with their butts rather than leaning forward with their knees. So the third mistake we want to look at is when an athlete has relaxed shoulders during the pull. So as we can see on Kathleen, she has a little bit of a rounded back right here. And instead of that being round, we want that to actually be flat. So we have to teach them to retract the scapula and try to keep a tight but relaxed back when you're doing the pull. So the fourth mistake we want to look at is when an athlete doesn't keep the bar close enough to their body. So Kathleen does an excellent job showing this, as when she goes down and then up, the bar travels way too far away from her body. We have to try to keep that bar close and try to not do almost a reverse curl. So the last mistake I want to look at is when an athlete catches on their toes rather than on their heels. So this could actually cause a huge injury further down the line if it's not caught right away. So as we can see here, when Kathleen catches, her heels are actually off the ground still when she catches. So this is a huge problem because when we are catching the weight, we're absorbing that load and forcing it back to the ground. So if we aren't on our heels and are on our toes, it could cause an ankle or knee injury. So we have to be able to force them backwards onto their heels and into that quarter squat